Hi, my name is Gary Morris, and I was recently Chief Marketing Officer for a global international company based in Johannesburg, South Africa. I worked in the Americas. I was responsible for marketing for the US, Canada, Mexico, and Brazil. And I think there's a couple of things that I'd like to just share with you from my experience. One is that it's easy to mistake a company whose main language is English, in the case of South Africa, for being just like an American company. And it got through my head after being in marketing for a period of time with that company that was definitely not the case. They spell things with a lot of S's versus ours with Z's, so the language is not necessarily the same. They use a lot of the common marketing concepts from the UK because of the influence there in that hemisphere versus the American way of doing things. So it's not just the basic English concepts, but also the concepts in marketing. I think one of the challenges we also faced as a marketing team in the Americas was we were responsible for US, Canada, and Latin America. So you had many different cultures, and in some cases, in the instance of Mexico and Brazil, different languages, Portuguese and Spanish. So you had to take into consideration the creation of these materials and how they might be perceived by the markets in those regions. When we entered the Canada market, for example, we were entering into Toronto. A lot of things that we take for granted in the US in terms of how we interact from a social media perspective, how we interact from an email perspective, and using those as channels to get to our customers was very different in Canada than it was in the Americas. Whereas in the Americas, our B2B customers were very used to using social networking sites and using email. In Canada, that was not necessarily the best way to go about reaching our customers. It was better to have more face-to-face meetings, to have breakfasts. And so we use those different types of channels and tactics to be able to get to those customers. So I don't know if that